Hey everyone, welcome to the reading for today. We're going to see what you guys need to know right now. It's a general collective reading, okay? This could be past, present, or future. You're going to know best how this resonates for you and where it fits on your timeline, all right? So let's see what's going on. Oh, you want these ones, okay. These cards. Let's see. What's going on in the collective today? The Magician, the Emperor, the World, and the Devil at the bottom. Oh my. And then we have the Knight of Wands at the top. The Magician, the Emperor, and the World. This feels like... This feels like I don't know how to explain it. Because the Emperor's in the middle, right? The Emperor's in the middle, and it feels like with the World and the Magician being here, it feels like there's a force field around the Emperor, right? Because look, the Emperor's sitting like this on his throne. And then the Magician and the World, both of these cards have like this, the Magician has this thing going around them, right? And then the World has this. So it feels like a force field around the Emperor that's like moving, right? It's like, woof, woof, woof. Like, I don't know what that's about. Okay. But it feels like majestic, right? I don't know. It feels like someone just gained their powers. Like there's some sort of a power around someone and it's like massive. Like it's like expanding. Like something is like, like, and this could even be against the devil. Like the devil could be protected. Somebody could be protected against the devil right now, right? And we even have death here. And then the Queen of Cups underneath that. So Scorpio energy. Death, the Devil, death, and the Queen of Cups. Yeah, there's like a force field around this person. Like you could be a man or a woman, doesn't matter, or feminine, masculine energy, doesn't matter. But there's a force field, like a heavy duty force field around this Emperor, and it's very majestic. So, wow, let's see what that is about. Cool. Why is the Magician here? The Two of Coins, the Six of Cups, and the Five of Wands. This has to do with something from the past here, okay? A fight, an argument, some sort of conflict. Somebody is weighing something back and forth. There's some sort of comparison here, or let's see, who's the Emperor? The Knight of Wands in reverse. The Fool and the Eight of Swords. This has to do with somebody taking a leap of faith here, a new beginning, somebody feeling trapped, imprisoned, and stuck. But this is somebody taking impulsive action, like somebody coming in quickly, angry, doing something forceful, maybe even cruel, like something like anger here, okay? Some sort of anger. And then we have the Eight of Swords, imprisonment, trapped. The Emperor, again at the bottom. Why is the World here? Whoa, Temperance and the High Priestess in reverse? Yeah, this Emperor doesn't feel so nice anymore, okay? They don't feel so nice. The Four of Cups. Somebody here not listening to their intuition or a dark practitioner, temperance in reverse. Something here is soulless. Something here is imbalanced, soulless. Somebody's not connected to their soul. Somebody's not listening to their intuition, or somebody's not tapped into their intuition. The Four of Cups. Or maybe somebody rejects intuition. Maybe somebody rejects this is so strange. Because look, the devil is at the bottom, right? So why is there a force field around this Emperor when they're coming out with very negative energy? This is very weird. Hanged Man. Why is there this weird force field bubble? Let's see. Why is the Magician here? The Nine of Swords and Strength in reverse. Oh, because whoever you are, it's like you didn't even know your strength. You didn't even know your true strength or your true potential, your true like force. There's a real force around someone here, but it's like it couldn't even be used properly or manifested properly because of this fear. The Nine of Swords, living out of fear, acting out of fear. No, but fear is the catalyst. No, fear, it's like the fear is the catalyst to this force field. It's like once you conquer the fear, that's when this force field like, woof, 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 woof. I don't know how to explain this, man. The fear is what weakens someone. The fear is what keeps someone disconnected from their intuition, disconnected from temperance. Wait, tell me more about this force field thing, because I can feel it, but I don't really understand why it's here in this reading. The Four of Swords. This has to do with loss of family, losing family, an estranged family, or being disconnected from family. The Four of Swords, resting, meditating, peace of mind. Somebody thinking about something. The Devil at the bottom. The Eight of Swords and the Five of Pentacles. Somebody being trapped, imprisoned here. Whose fears are these? Whose fears are the catalyst here? It's almost giving me like you knowing what other people think about you, or what other people suspect about you, or how other people talk about you, that other people like, it's like the force. The force is knowledge and playing into it. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't know if that makes sense to everyone. This is again giving me like beating people at their own game. Which means that if there's fears present, right? Or there's people that have been playing on your fears. People that have been trying to weaponize certain things about you in the past. Use certain things against you in the past. You know that they've been using things against you purposely, okay? Or playing into things that aren't true. This is like you using that as your force, using that as this energy around you. Playing into that and using it as your force field. Does that make sense? The devil. That's like what people want. That's what people want to see in you. That's what people wish. It's like what they wish you were, what they think you are, what they want you to be. It has to do with the magician is coming out with the 9 of Swords. So this is about using a resource, manifesting and creating something out of nothing. But in this case, it's fear. So it's almost like you as the magician have used your own fears as a force field, as your power, okay? What people have been trying to do, what they've been trying to say about you, how they've been trying to get you trapped, how they've been trying to get you imprisoned. This is like you knowing exactly what they're doing and playing into it because you can use that energy as your force field. Does that make sense to someone? I hope it does. Let's see. The Ace of Wands and the Knight of Wands. Yeah, the action that was taken here. The intention behind the actions. This is about the choice that you made, all right? Or choices that you made. Yeah, something here was deliberate. It feels like something that you did was very deliberate. It was very deliberate. The Star and the King of Wands. It was, something here was very deliberate action that was taken here. It's almost like, look, let's say there's people around you that think that you are, let's just say greedy. Or they think that you are like obsessive or something like that. Or they think that you are something. They think something bad about you, right? You know that you're not that. You know that you're not whatever they are trying to say about you, right? You know that there's no truth to it whatsoever, that these people don't know you at all, okay? But they have these preconceived notions about you, maybe because of some sort of fears that you had in the past, I don't know. Or these are fears of other people. Maybe other people have fears about you and who you are and what kind of a person you are. Now, it feels like whatever you did here, it was very deliberate because for one, you know who you are and you know what you're not. But you can also play into something here a little bit because whatever these people are trying to use against you, you can turn that back around on them and use it against them. And that's what was done here. Beating someone at their own game. Okay. It's like, look, with the 5 of Swords, let's say they're trying to say that you're someone that's very insecure. Or you're greedy. That's what they're trying to use against you. That's what they're trying to say about you. So you can play into this just to beat them at their own fucking game. You get what I mean? Okay? I hope that makes sense. I know this one's a bit like, ooh, but that's how this reading feels anyway. So tell me more about the Magician. Camera, learn from the past. Perception. Yeah, this has to do with some sort of perception from the past. Learn from the past. Okay. You've learned something from the past here. Or perception, or some sort of perceptions that other people have made about you is based off of fears, either your own anxieties, or other people's fears and projections, okay? Now the truth is going to come to light, all right? So now the truth is about to come to light here. Something's about to be found out about how you are the magician and you just manifested something, or you decided to create your own reality here and you transmuted something, you alchemized something, okay? A mirror. All you did was mirror back. This is like somebody mirroring back. So there's someone here in your energy that is trying to tell people something about you, or something about who you are and what kind of a person you are, allegedly. And this is just you holding a mirror, right? It's like, if that's what they think of you, then that's what you're going to show them. It's like you're just going to play right into their weird delusion. That's it. Okay, why that had to be done, I don't know. Maybe we'll see if that comes out in the reading. But there is definitely something here about you just literally holding up a mirror to something, okay? It's like, oh, that's what you think of me? Okay, how about I show you that? This is what you're trying to say about me? Okay, let me hold up a mirror to that delusion. How about I play into that? How about we play pretend? And beat these people at their own game. Because you know that you're not that. You know that you're not any of that. So it doesn't really matter to you, right? Being charmed or used. So maybe someone thought that you were being manipulative, or you were trying to use them. You were trying to charm them. Interesting. Somebody maybe thought you were being manipulative. Okay. But now you can transcend the obstacle. No, this was all about you transcending an obstacle. This was all about your ascension when it comes to your triggers, resentment and lessons, turmoil. Yeah, something here was about ascension. So I don't even feel like this is for you. I feel like this is for someone that you were dealing with, right? Or someone in your energy. Somebody that may have thought that you were being manipulative. Somebody that started questioning you or doubting you, or somebody that didn't know if that they could trust you, is what I feel. Because it's making me feel like this person couldn't see through what you were doing, or why you were saying the things that you were saying, or why you were exposing the things you were exposing, why you were playing into a certain kind of a delusion. I feel like this person couldn't see clearly why you were doing that, but it made them look at their own triggers. It made them look at their own resentment, or maybe some sort of turmoil, and it could have something to do with trust issues, or feeling like people are trying to use them or charm them. I feel like someone thought you were trying to manipulate them. I don't think that you were trying to manipulate them. You were probably trying to manipulate other people's delusions about you, right? But I feel like someone couldn't really see through that. Working on it, yeah, your plan, what you were working on. Something about what you were working on, or the plan. Somebody didn't understand the plan, really. Okay. The Nine of Wands, the Two of Wands. Yeah, something about your choices, all right? Or the way that you decided to move forward. be defensive, protect yourself, the way that you did something alone, the way that you were very defensive, protective, the wounded warrior. Some sort of choices that you made about being defensive, protective, the wounded warrior. Why did this person here have so much distrust? Because they didn't understand that you were making choices not out of fear. Or it has something to do with the future and coming out of fear, overcoming fear, overcoming fear. Or you were able to plan something because you were not acting out of fear. You were not planning anything out of fear or anxiety or stress or worry. You weren't scared, you weren't worried, you were never stressed out about something, about the plan. Or someone else had to come out of their anxiety, they had to come out of their fear, out of their stress. And I feel like someone else's fear is feeling like you're trying to manipulate them. Confirmation. The Hierophant. Or somebody feels like you're being manipulative. Like maybe they don't think you're trying to manipulate them, but it's like somebody thinks that you're trying to charm people. It's again, it's giving me like someone that knows that you're very smart, so they're wondering if you're using your intelligence to manipulate people. That's basically what it's giving me. The Knight of Cups, yeah. Playing on people's emotions, playing on people's empathy, on people's care and affection. But that was something that this person had to look at within themselves. I don't think that had anything to do with you. Okay. Some sort of communication here, information coming in about what someone was working on, some sort of communication about the plan. Okay, so either you said something about a plan to this person, or the divine kind of, like their spirit guides kind of, or they indirectly figured out some sort of a plan here, or they got some sort of communication about a plan of yours, is what I'm getting. And whatever that communication was, it kind of got this person to question you if you're being manipulative. Why'd they go down that road though? Like, of thinking something about you because the Cupid's arrow in reverse, because they didn't have faith, because they didn't trust you. Yeah. Because it was something about them not trusting you or not having faith in you. They don't like bad surprises. They didn't want a bad surprise. They didn't know if they could trust you. Okay. So there's someone here that has trust issues. Yeah, focus on self-worth, shadow work, self-appreciation. Focus on self. Yeah, I feel like it was actually something within them that was making them not trust you. So it didn't have anything to do with you or what you were doing. It was more about them not understanding themselves or not understanding, or some sort of a trigger within them made them look at themselves, or there was something they had to look at themselves about. Some sort of shadow work they had to do. when it comes to trusting you or feeling like you're trying to manipulate them. Okay. This has to do with a past fight. What's the fight about in the past? So you were told, like, as a direction from spirit, from your spirit guides, from your higher self, you were told to play into some sort of a delusion here because you knew that people were saying certain things about you, and you felt intuitively that it would be to your advantage to play into that for some reason or another, okay? That you could use that to your advantage in some way, what people were saying about you, right? But by doing this, someone else then, who at first may have seen you in a good light, or was trying to figure out what kind of a person you are, because of the fact that you started playing into a delusion or playing into someone's game by almost like pretending in order to get, it's almost like you're trying to make the enemy feel like you're giving them what they want, right? Does that make sense? Like the enemy thinks that you are, or they don't think that. They know that you're not this person. They know that you're not this way, but they want other people to think this about you. They want other people to think you're this way. They want you to think that you did this and that. So Spirit kind of gives you a heads up and gives you a little nudge and says, hey, at this time, it would actually be to your advantage to play into the delusion of the enemy, because it's going to turn out to be your advantage later to make the enemy, think that they're getting something from you that they want because they're trying to say something about you, right? And it would actually turn out to be your advantage if you kind of play into it a little bit and pretend a little bit, right? But someone around you then all of a sudden felt like they started not trusting you anymore. That's what it feels like. It feels like all of a sudden they felt like, wait a minute. Now you're showing me this side of you. So does that mean that you were this all along? And it's like, so they didn't realize that you were playing into a delusion, basically. You triggered a fear in this person, that something about themselves, I don't know. And it was only because you were trying to trick the enemy, but then this person also ended up getting tricked a little bit. So that's what this feels like. All of a sudden they couldn't trust you anymore, right? Or they were wondering if you're just being manipulative here, but maybe to a certain extent you were, but it's not about that. What was that? That's a bird. Oh my God, I've never seen a bird down here. It just came. 2826. 2826. Those numbers could be significant. The 28, the 26. I've never had a bird fly down right here. 2826 on the clock. 26. I've been seeing that number. The 26 could be important. The 26. So somebody here didn't know if they could trust you. I don't even know what kind of a bird that was. It was brown. It wasn't a crow. It was brown. Abundance. Keep a positive mindset. Manifest exactly what you want. Yeah, somebody was supposed to stay positive. Somebody was supposed to stay positive. Something about money, abundance, and palm tree. Okay, stability, security, permanence, and growth. Something about money. What's that about? The Knight of Coins, money, a strategy. The Three of Wands in reverse. Somebody here couldn't see the future. They couldn't see where something was headed. Yeah, somebody couldn't understand. I feel like somebody didn't understand why you were doing what you were doing or why you were saying what you were saying. They couldn't really see the future here. The Hierophant. Judgment in reverse. Yeah, somebody here might have started judging you. I feel like somebody started judging you or judging your morals. This feels like somebody judging your morals, like judging your integrity, judging your morals, judging your values, criticizing you, saying like you're not a good person for doing something because they didn't realize that you were thinking long term about something, but they couldn't see that this was like long term. So it's almost like Spirit just gave this person just enough information and they started judging you. Yeah, I feel like you're dealing with someone that has like they don't trust you for some reason. And I feel like they fall into this very easily, that they have a lot of distrust towards you. I don't know why, but okay. It's not really showing me why. I don't feel like you did anything to this person, but because of the past, reminiscing, keepsake, perception, learn from the past. Because of their perception in the past, or they're supposed to learn something from their past. It's all about them having to look in the past and learn from something from their past, their perception. Yeah, it's not about you at all. None of this has anything to do with you. This person was supposed to look at themselves or learn from their past or find something in their past and reminisce about something. So I feel like, yeah, you indirectly triggered something here for someone else. Okay. Yeah, not enough. Frustrated in a relationship, lack of confidence and insecurity, fear, ego issues, or some sort of or this might even be a perception that they have of you, that you're frustrated in your relationship, you're insecure in some sort of way. So this is like something, so whoever this is, they don't really understand something about you and what kind of a person you are, I'm guessing, or something about your strength or maybe moments of weakness. So maybe they've only seen like your moments of weakness, moments of weaknesses that you've had in the past. So they're kind of basing your character and their judgment of you off of these moments of weaknesses from your past. Okay. So, all right. The Ten of Pentacles, generational wealth, legacy, money, a lot of money. Yeah, something about a lot of money, okay? The Nine of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, King of Cups in reverse. This has something to do with a lot of money. So why is that important? Because of a message or some sort of communication about somebody giving something to someone or somebody receiving something from someone. It's all had to do with a message, a communication, a letter about somebody giving something to someone, receiving something, okay? The Four of Swords. Somebody not saying something, keeping something to themselves. Yeah, I really feel like somebody just didn't really understand why you were doing what you were doing, why you were saying what you were saying, why you were acting the way that you were acting. I feel like it's someone that you have in some way, if I dare to say, proven yourself to, okay, in the past, or maybe you've shown this person in some sort of way that you are trustworthy, but I guess there was something here that made them judge you, okay? Because they didn't see the whole picture. The Strength in reverse, yeah. They couldn't see the whole picture here. Strength in reverse, a lack of strength, a moment of weakness. They're like judging you off of a moment of weakness that you had. Or this has to do with a moment of weakness that you ended up using as your, what you ended up using as your power, as your force field. So you recognized that you had a moment of weakness. You recognized that you fell into a fear, right? That you were stressed out, you felt weak, you had a moment of weakness. And you decided to use this moment as your power play, because you also recognize that that's all it was. It was a moment of weakness. You fell into a fear, you spiraled a little bit, and you're like, wait, I could actually use this as my perfect power play. But I feel like someone here didn't understand that that's what you were doing. Right? So that's kind of what this feels like. The relationship is over. No second chances. A mirror. A mirror. All you were doing was giving the enemy, I'm just gonna say it like that, you were just giving the enemy exactly what they basically wanted to see. Does that make sense? So let's say it has to do with a relationship ending or a partnership ending, a connection ending, something like that, right? So you have a moment of weakness with someone, all right? You guys kind of get into a little fight. You know, maybe you don't know if you want to continue this relationship anymore with this person, but you know that everyone around you wants you to break up, or you know everyone around you is waiting for the day that you walk away from this partnership or friendship or relationship, whatever it is. So you decide, but you know what, wait, this is what they've been waiting for, right? This is what they want, right? They're waiting for this. So how about I use this to my own advantage and just pretend? How about I just give them what they want, right? Because that's what they've been doing. They've been creating smoke and mirrors and pretending and reflecting things that aren't even true. So this is what I mean with beat them at their own game, okay? So these people have been waiting for a relationship to be over. Why don't you just mirror back to them exactly what they want to see, what they want to say about you, right? They're trying to say there was a breakup or the relationship ended because of this and that. Why don't you just feed into that delusion for a second and see what they do with it? Because in the end, it's going to be your advantage, right? Does that make sense? I feel like that's what someone did here, okay? So why is the Emperor here? A house. This has to do with a house, a property, a community, a neighborhood, the main females, a home, okay? 2222, yeah, mirroring again, duality. What's this impulsive thing that they did here? Trying to get someone trapped. The moon, what was hidden? Yeah, something here was hidden. Four of Wands in reverse, about somebody leaving, moving out, losing a home, going away, leaving a community, okay? The Queen of Pentacles, playing, it's about playing into a delusion, all right? The moon, that's really what I'm getting. You're playing straight into the delusion of someone, all right? You're giving them exactly what they want from you. That's it. It's like, I'm sorry, but sometimes you have to beat people at their own game, okay? They want a certain outcome from you. They want to say something about you. And sometimes it's to your advantage to give them what they're looking for, because you know that they're going to do something with it. Right? So if these people, like I said, they want you to move out of a house because and then you know that as soon as this happens, they're going to try and do something. This is like you saying, okay, so I know that that's what you want me to do. So how about I give you that? How about I make you think that that's what I'm going to do? Because I know once these enemies think that that's what's going to happen, they're going to do something with it. So you pretend. And you give them what they want to see, what they want to say about you. You just, it's a game. Yeah, maybe it is manipulation, but what have these people been doing the whole time, huh? Sometimes you got to try and play it smart, all right? So that's really what this feels like. What's the world? Heartbroken, deeply hurt, sad, separation, breakup, feeling lost, grieving and mourning. Coffin, heartbroken about an ending, a permanent ending, heartbroken about a death. The Empress. So, why? Justice. So what I feel like happened here is that whoever the person was that started to not trust you, started to judge you, started to question your morals and your integrity and your values, right when they started doing that, there's something that came through for them, an Empress, that showed them something here about something being for the good fight, justice, something being fair, being balanced, being right, being good. Okay, it's kind of giving me like somebody asking, like, I don't know, thinking that they can't trust you. And right when they start thinking that, someone else comes in and says, no, actually, you can trust them. Okay, that's kind of what this feels like. The Page of Swords, yeah, a message comes through. The Sun, the Five of Swords, and the Hermit, yeah. The truth about some sort of manipulation or, doing something sneaky, doing something deceptive. It's someone that felt like you can't be trusted. The Hermit, because you're a hermit, because you kept something to yourself, because you kept something under wraps, because you had to do something alone. Yeah, this is like, like you can't have someone blow your cover, like, okay. Like you had to make everyone think something, right? I don't know. In order for it to work, you had to make everyone think something for it not to blow your cover. Like, sometimes it's necessary, right? Like, again, I just, like, look, this is like, I don't know why I'm getting like these so many like World War II things, right? But it's kind of giving me some, like, let's just say an example so I can kind of explain this energy to you guys, right? So let's say it's World War II, you know, everybody knows what's kind of happening, right? I can't really say certain words on YouTube, right? But basically the situation, okay? So let's say you're someone, you have a plan, right? For justice, okay? To try and help, to try and do the right thing, okay? So there's fears here. A lot of people have fears, moments of weakness, right? So you're trying to figure out how you can play into this. But you also have to make everyone else think something so that your plan for justice can succeed. So it's like you are hiding a bunch of people in your home, in your attic, on your farm. You know what I mean? Okay? Right? So you have to pretend like you are also a certain way. You have to pretend like, you know, you have to play into something here that the enemy wants you to be in order for nobody to look through your attic and your home and your farm and find the people that you're trying to protect. You get what I'm saying? Or like, you know, like I was getting Underground Railroad. Like if you're someone back then, like you were white, let's say you were white and you were trying to protect and help slaves escape, you had to kind of pretend and play into what other people want you to be so that nobody suspects that you're helping them escape. You get what I mean? It's like something like that, where sometimes the best way, the best advantage you have is to play into the delusion of what someone else wants you to be. So does that make you manipulative? Maybe, okay? But like, you know, you gotta kind of weigh the pros and cons here, okay? Like, so someone here was judging you. So they thought, so this could even be like, look, this is what this is giving me. So let's say you're neighbors, right? You have a neighbor, and you've been telling this neighbor, you guys are on the same kind of wavelength, and you've been telling them, let's just take Underground Railroad or World War II, whatever. These examples, okay? You've been talking to them and telling them like you're so against this, and you just can't see what they've been doing to these people, and you just can't, you know, you think it's horrible, blah blah, and you guys kind of connect on that. And then all of a sudden, because you got this thing that you got to protect, right? You're telling your everybody in the town is talking about how you're playing into the delusion, basically. You're playing into the illusion of what the enemy wants you to be. And now your friend over here, neighbor, feels betrayed by you because they're like, man, I didn't think you were like that. Like, I thought you were against this regime. I thought you were against what they're doing to people. And now you're out here saying the same thing. But you can't tell them that, look, man, like, I'm just pretending, okay? Because then you've got work to do, right? So that's what this gives me. Somebody that all of a sudden feels like they can't trust you anymore, and you're being manipulative, and you're like, yeah, but like, there's a reason, man. Like, just trust the plan, yo. And I feel like they couldn't really do that. So that's kind of the gist of this reading. Okay, anything else? The Eight of Wands in reverse, the Queen of Wands in reverse. And that's why something had to backfire here with the Queen of Wands in reverse. Okay. The Page of Swords, some sort of communication. That's why somebody got some sort of communication about a Queen of Wands in reverse. Death. Somebody got a communication about a painful ending or a death, a permanent ending. The Emperor, Hanged Man in reverse, because the Emperor got stuck in a perspective. Because the Emperor got stuck in a perspective. The Emperor got stuck in the way that they see you, in a perception that they have of you. So that's why someone came through, an empress came through to get this emperor unstuck, I guess, okay? Yeah, to get them out of fear, or that something here doesn't have to do with fear, or something about conquering fear, overcoming fear, coming out of a nightmare. When it comes to helping someone, trusting someone, accepting help, okay? That someone can be trusted. Not to be scared that somebody can be trusted. I feel like someone here around you, they needed like a sign that you can be trusted or something like that. Not to be scared, not to have fear, that you can be trusted or that they can be trusted, right? Okay, so what's the closing words now? They thought you were manipulative. Now they know the truth, okay, about the Queen of Pentacles. Now they know the truth about a Queen of Pentacles. They thought you were being manipulative about a relationship. Two of Wands in reverse. They thought that you were not making a choice, or you were making a bad choice, or they were questioning your choices. Some sort of a message here to the Emperor. The Emperor needed a message, okay, about something being a wish fulfillment, or feeling good about yourself, feeling good about your choices, making the right choice. They needed to know, they needed a message to feel good about something. Okay, to feel good about something. About a certain date. About a certain date. Love. And to heal their heart. Yeah, this has to do with healing from heartbreak. Freeing oneself from fear. Yeah, and trust and love, okay? So I'm gonna leave it there, guys. I hope this helps, okay? Thanks for watching. Until next time, bye.